Well, now you guys had the big premiere. By the way, hey, I'm Mark Walters of BigFanboy.com. I'm sitting here with the great James Gunn. Can you believe it? I mean, you guys had your premiere here at South by Southwest of Super.
Yes.
Had to be pretty exciting, I would imagine. Red carpet was crazy.
The red carpet was nuts. It was, well, I'll tell you what was nuts was that line that went around the building like 8 times. That was what was nuts. And trying to approach the building with a, Lilliputian Ellen Page, who I'm always afraid is going to be gobbled up by some evil baddie. I don't even like traveling around with her. She's too tiny and frail and scary. I feel protective towards her. So that was scary, that huge crowd. But it was, man, yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
You make films for guys, people like me, people that are into the, this pop culture craze.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love the specials. I love Slither. Just about everything you do. And this is so much fun. What was the influence behind this? Were you like drawing influences off, comic books that you read as a kid, or what made you want to do a superhero?
I love comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, I love them. I probably read more comic books than I spend more time reading comic books than I do watching movies or TV or anything. But I think, probably Alan Moore's work is the biggest influence on me. But strangely, it's like, that combined with certain filmmakers who I love, people like Lucas Moodysson, the Swedish film director who did Together and Show Me Love, and trying to combine these sort of, I guess, for lack of a better word, artsy directors in their work with the concept of this pop culture superhero. I mean, taking both things I love. I love big popcorn superhero movies, and I also love like these, lower budget, art house films.
Yeah.
And to be able to combine those, put a grindhouse head on an art house body, I think is really what Super is about.
When in the process did you decide to get Rainn Wilson? Because I think that's just genius casting.
Yeah. So I first wrote the script back in 2002.
Yeah.
I had a funding back in 2004 from a company, and we just couldn't agree on the right actor. I needed somebody to play Frank who could handle the comedic part of the film, who could do the dramatic part of the film, who was a big enough goof you could imagine him getting picked on by the other shorter cook at the diner, and who was, physically threatening enough you could imagine him beating the shit out of people with a pipe wrench. And that actor at the time, I just couldn't find somebody. A lot of people wanted to do the role, but I couldn't find somebody who wanted to do it. Yeah. And I, honest to God, would rather have not made this movie than make it with the wrong cast.
Sure.
Because that would suck. So I put the movie aside. I made Slither. And about 2 years ago, my ex-wife, Jenna Fisher, called me up. And we're still very close. We talk all the time. And she said, "What are you doing with Super?" And I said, "Well, I don't know. That script's a little esoteric. It's very dark. Too violent. I'm just not sure anybody's going to make that movie, and I can't find the right actor. It's got to be the right part, the right, person, and I can't find that person, and so I just don't think I'm going to make it. I don't think my manager wants me to make it." And she said, "You've got to make that movie. That's my favorite script you've ever written. It really speaks to me. It's so beautiful. I want you to make that movie. What do I have to do to make you make, to get you to make that movie?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Listen, have you ever thought of Rainn for the role of Frank?" And Rainn and I had known each other for 5 years, and I was like, yeah, that works. That really works, It works perfect. And from that moment, there was no stopping me. I mean, so I sent the script to Rainn. He wrote me an hour and a half later, said, "I'm 22 pages in. I love it. My hands are shaking. I'm in." And he was committed. I actually told him, I texted him back. I said, "Rainn, it gets a little violent in a little bit. You might want to read through before you say you're in, because it's not exactly as, warm and fuzzy as it is up front." But anyway, he ended up doing the movie, and from there we just, went nonstop, full throttle. Rainn and I both committed 100%. If one of us had balked at any moment, this, the whole thing would have stopped, but we stuck with it.
And that kind of collaborative process, I think, is what really makes great movies. We got to wrap it up here, but what's up next for you?
I got a movie called Movie 43 coming out with the Fairley Brothers did. It's a bunch of short films by comedy directors. Has everybody from Hugh Grant to not Hugh Grant, Hugh Jackman. Wolverine.
It's easy to confuse the two.
They're both Hughes. To Halle Berry and Kate Winslet and all these people in it. And I have a short with Josh Duhamel and Elizabeth Banks that I think is a lot of fun.
Some more PG porn.
Boy, I want to do some more PG porn, but everybody's afraid of it. It's like Viacom freaked out and yanked our money. Pussies. Pussy Viacom.
James Gunn, the movie is super. Check it out. It's awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
dude.
Thanks
I
so
appreciate
much.
it.
Yeah.